Okay, so let me see if you can hear my voice. Yep. Yeah, I don't know how long the delay is, but let me know if my voice is coming through. Oh man, I'm just inhaling rigid fiberglass and I'm all itchy. But yeah, I don't know if I'm trying a new thing. One of the broadcast guys was telling me how to do something kind of similar to tri-leveler, so I'm not sure if this is working for the mic getting across. So as soon yeah, okay, all right, cool. All right, Vern, you hearing the voice? I have no idea what the delay is. I swear it's like 30 seconds or something. But it looks like Jack Conley hears this. So Jack, what you're asking about editing drum tracks, like let's say this was uh I have some commands set up to tab to crap. Control Alt Shift T. I have some commands set to like tab to transient thing. So like let's say I wanted to put this thing on the grid, tab to transient, drop a marker, go to the next measure or whatever, put another marker on, and then I have another command so that if I have a selected area, just hit X and it'll move everything to the grid. Yeah, there's no sound right now, Vern, but can you hear my voice? That's the important thing, is if you can hear the voice or not. Yeah, let me know if you can hear the voice. There shouldn't be. I don't have any sound playing right now through Reaper. Okay, Jack, you're hearing my voice, but Vern, you're not hearing my voice. Crap. Yeah, those are custom shortcuts, but you can find them, and this is what I wanted to show Vern too, because this is where he's going to get stuck, and if he gets this very first thing, then it's going to make everything super easy. But he's saying I don't think he's saying he's hearing my voice. Um, Oh, okay, good. Okay, so check this out. So first of all, hopefully this is going to show. Something's weird with the obs the way it picks up, but this actions menu. I mean, seriously, like this sounds dumb. I don't want to act like I'm RTFMing or anything because there really is no manual. So, um, yeah, okay. So we're going to talk about that too. So, I'll talk about that later on. But so for now, just get to your action list. And I don't know if you saw this yet, but anything you're looking to do as you start typing it in, it'll start narrowing it down the field. So I'm just going to start typing in split, and you see how it's becoming less and less and less actions. Um, and also, if you're not sure what a key's doing, you can click Find Shortcut and just type something on your keyboard, like I just typed F, and it'll scroll to what it is right now. You can change that, and you can make your own stuff in the custom actions or whatever. But for now, for the way I used to work, so I'm just going to go to split, and then you'll see in my case, I have S is split items at editor play cursor. And if you ever need to add anything to an action, just click it and hit add and just type in the key that you want to use. And that's pretty much how this whole action system works. So before, and I have these grouped right now, and let me turn off these guides. What I would do, like in Vegas, I would click on a spot that I'm worried about. Use a mouse wheel to zoom in. And this is one of the things like the Pro Tools things couldn't do. So that's why it would kill me when the Pro Tools guys were around. And I used to have this little contest with them, but I won't babble about that. But I'll find out where I want to edit, hit S to split, and it'll split it there. And see, in my case, I have auto fades in and out. And then if I wanted to delete something, maybe I'd split again later on. And I think you saw with the ripple edits. And that's all I would do. Or, you see how the mouse changes context depending on what's going on. You could just grab the mouse and just drag and remove it. Or you can turn this into your fade editor, your crossfade editor. You can move the crossfades by using a modifier and all that. But I think what you wanted to do, I kind of call this like the Macintosh way of editing because it would treat it different. The way I have this set up is that it kind of acts like a Windows program on the top half of the wave if I'm clicking, but it acts like more like a Macintosh program on the bottom half. Like watch this. I have this set. So if I click and drag on the top, it's going to move the thing. If I click and drag on the bottom, it's going to make a selection. And then so if I wanted to just delete that section, oops, that's not how I have it. What I have set to Control Delete. Yep. So you see, I think this is what you're talking about doing. So that the way you would set that up is options, preferences, and they have a similar thing like in the actions menu. I'm going to type in modifier. I think is it modifier? Or I think there's actually a thing. Yeah, editing behavior, mouse modifiers. Yeah, right here. Duh. Okay, sorry. So I have in the context media item bottom half, and then for left drag, I've selected marquee select items and time. You could choose different things here. So I have default action is marquee select items and time. So that means when I'm in my bottom half of the item, it's selecting the item and time. And then you could do things from that. So split. No, wait, is it? There's the control split. There's different actions you could do to make it do an action here. And one of the ones I think that Kenny set up was make an action that's the 4-point edit for your mute. If you wanted to mute instead of delete, you could do I think it's 4 points. 4 points. Insert 4 envelope points at the time selection. So I have Shift E. So watch this. If I actually, since I don't have an envelope up, some people would do put a mute envelope up. And so make a selection, Shift E. Sorry, select the envelope. And then you'd have 4 points there. So then you could just drop it. You could even make an action that would automatically toggle the mute for just that section, in case you don't want to delete, in case you just want to leave, like let's say I'm gonna solo this. In case you didn't want to delete and you wanted to change your mind later and unmute it, you know, you could make an action. In fact, I'll show you how to do that real quick. Show actions list. So custom action. I'm just going to call this 4-point mute toggle. And so I'm probably going to type in 4 points. So insert 4 envelope points at time selection. Envelope. So how do you? Oh man, you know I never do it this way. There's some way to grab those points and set to minus infinity. Let me see, minus infinity. Oh man, I'm sucking. There's a way to grab those points and set them, flip them all the way. Let me see, toggle. So that's toggle mute, but I want to toggle the mute envelope. Not sure if it'll actually let you. Select mute envelope, toggle mute envelope. That's for a take effect. Toggle trap. You know, there's probably a way easier way to do this than I'm showing you right now. In fact, yeah, don't let me mess you up. But if I, so if I were doing this and I didn't want to mess this up and I don't want to, there's a way to make this instant, and I'm just messing this up. But so I'm selecting the bottom half of this thing for this section that I wanna mute. I hit Shift D. Sorry, damn it. For some reason, it's not selecting the envelope. And you could toggle it that way. But normally for this kind of thing, I would just select that and then delete the time selection, whatever. But there is a way to quickly make a mute envelope that'll do this. I barely use the automation in Reaper ever, and I'm sure somebody else could figure this out. But yeah, I suck at this. I just don't use the envelopes. I guarantee John Tidy has a trick for this. So it would be something like action select, create select envelope, create 4 points at that point, and then set those 4 to minus infinity somehow. I bet you there's an easier way. There's a toggle mute, but that's on a per take basis. Yeah, I'm really blowing this. But this is the way I do it. I just select the bottom half, hit Control Delete, and if you had your ripple on or whatever, you could let's see what this will do. This should, yeah. See, the ripple edit pulls it together. So I don't know if that helps you any. Again, that's options, preferences, mouse modifiers, media item bottom half, and then the context is probably gonna be left drag. So yeah, let me know if that doesn't help a little bit. And then I guarantee like John Tidy or somebody has a way to flip that mute envelope way quicker if you don't want to just straight delete it and you want to actually just mute it. In fact, hold on, let me just check real quick. So you could make a command to split this and then mute it. Let's try that. Show actions list. New 4-point split. And mute. This actually might be handy. So 4-point. No, you know what? I don't even need the point. Sorry. Hello? Hi. Oh. Yeah, I just went to Target and bought a like another drawer. I might be okay, but I'm glad to know they have them over there. If you want, I could definitely use it. Do you need any for around the house? No, if you don't need it, don't worry about it. I think it's okay. Yeah. Okay, sorry. I think I have a quicker one for you, Vern. Let me see if I have this right. So, um, split item at time selection. Split items at time selection. I want to remove this one. Um, item mute. I think. Let me see if this works. This might be stupid. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, then, Vern, then you would have I would just do it with the delete way, but then I would have ripple editing off. But we could do it like this. Let me show you this one right here. This might work. I think this is it. Split items at time selection and item properties mute. So what did I just call that thing? Item mute. But it was a custom action. Oh man, see, I item split and mute. Okay, and so I'm gonna add this. I don't know what I have free. Let me see if I can find a free key. Alt M. Oh hell no. Control M is mixer. Alt I. Let me see if I have Alt I open. Up items to the nearest. I never use this. Okay, I'm just gonna override that for now. Okay, so that custom action I just made right now. Let's see if this works. So I'm gonna make a time selection, and then I'm gonna hit Alt I. Oh yeah, perfect. Check that out. Oh, but wait a second. It just did all the. Did it just do all group tracks or did it all tracks? Okay, so in this case, it actually did all grouped tracks. So I'm sure there's a way to override the grouping. But do you see that with this? In fact, let me do that right now. Um, we're gonna edit this this item split and mute. I'm gonna have this ignore group. Um, so in my case, actually for editing drums, I would probably leave this not mess up the group, but I'm gonna have this ignore the group for now. Um, what would I call it? Ignore group? Group ignore? No group. Group. Oh man. Select mute script group. I mean, you could remove it from the item, but I don't think you'd want to do that. Item grouping override. Okay, right here. Okay, so watch this. So now I'm gonna go. So I'm not sure if you're grouping the vocal tracks. You might be for certain reasons. That it would actually make sense to group them for certain things. But I think you're probably going to be doing more ripple editing. But anyway, if you wanted this to not mess up this group, so like for instance, I have this drums and they're all in this drum group. I don't want to. I just want to mute this one snare drum. I don't want to mute the entire drum group. So let me see what happens now. So here, I made a time selection, hit Alt I. Yeah, so it just mutes that one. It's gonna do some strange things to the group behavior later on, but this might be okay for you. Oh, okay. So, did you see how I made that action? So action, show action list, um, new custom action. Give it a name so it'll show up in your actions menu. And then in my case, it was split items at time selection. Split items at time selection, and then item mute, item properties mute, and that's really all you would have to do. Um, Now when you hit OK, it'll show up in your in your actions. You might have to look for it. But see, it shows that custom item split and mute. Then you go to add, and then you add whatever the key is. So that I think this would work really good for your talking thing. Just set it to some. Oh man, see now why did it select the group that time? It's weird. I'm messing something up. But... Okay, then. So in your case, you're probably just gonna be doing ripples for most of the deleting and stuff. So you might not want. So you'd probably want to make a command that you would, if you were going to do it by deleting or by, like this, where you're resizing. Honestly, I do most of my deleting by resizing the track, and that sounds kind of weird, but because in the early days before you had stretch markers, I would, if you see when you have your mouse over the edge of the thing, hit Alt, and you can drag to stretch. See, I'm stretching it. Actually, let me split this out so you can see it better. Oh yeah, stupid ripple editing. Okay. So if I'm holding Alt, so I can stretch and shrink that stuff. So most of the time I was doing all my deletes and whatever, in most of my moving, even my drum editing by just splitting and moving and dragging and hiding a lot of the stuff. So that's how I did most of my edits. But because you're doing dialogue, I have a feeling that this lower half kind of thing right here, and you could change the whole entire editing system so that it acts like this, so that even the top half acts like that. But I have it makes it easier for me when I can use the top half to move things and split things, and the bottom half to select things. If that doesn't work for you, then you could make the whole thing do this. But in your case, you really could just do this, mute that section. And I have a feeling if you have multiple tracks selected here, let me So let me make sure those are both selected at once. Alt I, yeah. See, so it'll do the multiple tracks as well. So yeah, that's one way I would do it. So I tried that out, and if that doesn't work, let me know. But I think once you see what you can do with the actions menu and just making your own commands and modifying the mouse to do what you want the mouse to do, you're gonna have an easy time figuring stuff out. Like yeah, I don't want to make it hard on you to. It's tricky to come from a different DAW into Reaper, unless you're coming from Vegas. If you're used in Vegas, Reaper will be pretty simple. Oh, UMG just blocked this damn video. Thanks, UMG. Okay. Wow.